Hello. I have a few messages and emails asking me where to learn real Siu Lim Tao, and also some discussions on if Siu Lim Tao is practiced wrongly, it creates a whole bunch of horrible issues. So that lead me to make this YouTube to share with you my view. Okay, and again, I don't know it all, but this is a reference to share with you. Okay, first, what is real Siu Lim Tao? We know in Red Book there is one long set Siu Lim Tao, and then the three set, which is as we understand today, know today, that which was developed or created by Wong Wah Po. Okay, the Siu Lim Tao set there. So for me, if your lineage is from the Red Book lineage, all are real Siu Lim Tao. Okay, Yin Pei San Siu Lim Tao is real Siu Lim Tao, Snake Crane is real, Yikam is real, Yin Man lineage is real. Okay, so all this lineage, or Liangjian lineage, is real. Okay, so even though they might have some variations or evolutions, but they are real. Okay, so those are real Siu Lim Tao. Okay, for me. And so yeah, there's some variety here and there, and evolved sections, different people like to do different way, but all this is real Siu Lim Tao. And there's number one. The second thing is this: all this Siu Lim Tao, from Red Book, it can actually divide into a few different sections, okay, which is a common denominator of all of them. Okay, and you can notice that because this Siu Lim Tao is the foundations of the Wing Chun, and usually Siu Lim Tao, as a common denominator in general, you have say 5 sections, 5 common sections there. Okay, and they are the first, the first 3 sections, which is the foundations, the building of the foundation, is the snake section. The second section is the crane section, and then the third section is the what do you call it? The crane legs, the crane wings. The bong sao is a crane wing. So you do the high bong sao or the bong sao here. Okay, the high bong sao or bong sao here. Those are crane wing, and you do the chan jiang. Those are crane feet. Okay, and front, back. Okay, so you all have these 3 sections. This is again the snake section, the crane section, and then the crane feet and the crane wing. Okay, so this is a 3 common thing, basic thing in the Siu Lim Tao. It's a common denominator of all the Red Book Wing Chun lineages. Okay, even though there are some variety, but this 3 is always there. Okay, and of course, then you have the frontal, section, which is to introduce you to the frontal, the triangles, the middle, handling of the middles, the breaking the middle door, the center line section, and then you have the side door section. Okay, the side door sections. Okay, so you always have these 5 sections. Okay, these are 5 common denominator, and then some might add more thing and so forth. So this is for past 150 years, 160 years, or up to 200 years, up to today. All this common denominator is in the Xiu Yun Tao. Okay. So if you can look at different lineages, even though they have different signature, they still have this. Okay. And as soon as they are really from the red book lineages, you can see this common denominator. Okay. And another thing is this. Another thing is I'll say that another part of real is actually you yourself. It's not the sets. It's you yourself. How do you practice it? Okay. If you practice it properly, then it's real. If it's not practiced properly, then it's a different story. Okay. So even with a set with a real, if you don't practice it properly, then it still is an issue. Okay. And so, I can share with you some common denominator of the practice too. What is the proper practice, a common denominator, general rules of thumb practice, say according to the 1850s from different lineages. Okay. So if I want to use the Yi Gang transform, the 5 layers to communicate, because there's so many things, so we need to have a categorizations to communicate this thing. Otherwise, you'll be lost. Okay. So the Yi Gang transform, we know that we categorize things with the physical layer, mind layer, breathing layer, Qi layer, the force vector, and the art strategy layer, 5 layers. Okay. So if we use this 5 layer Yi Gang transform categorizations to communicate on what is a good practice of Xiu Yun Tao is like, we can actually look at it more clearly and look at the key points which you have to be careful when we practice it, and that lead to a proper way of practice the Xiu Yun Tao. Okay, so if we look at the Xiu Yun Tao set, disregard of what sets, okay, this set, disregard of what lineages, okay. As soon as it has it satisfied, it is from the red board, and then it satisfied the 5 common denominator, the snake, the crane feet and a wing, and then the frontal method of training, and then the side door training. As soon as it fulfills this, okay, then the set is in a very good shape. Okay. Then we talk about this, how is the proper way to handle this, okay? And again, this is the common denominator. So the first thing is the physical layer. Okay, physical layer is the most important thing. If we don't handle the physical layer properly, then the rest is very difficult to do. Okay. So the first thing about the physical layer is what? How do you place your body weight? It's extremely critical. If the body weight is not placed properly, then the rest is very tough to handle. Okay. So how to place the body weight? Naturally? Simple. Your leg, right? So this leg like that with your toe inside a little bit. You place, if this is my 2 feet here, okay, this feet like that. Don't do it like that, and don't do it like that. But just slightly, okay, like slightly with this shape, like a triangle shape. maybe not rectangle, but yeah, maybe like something like that, depending on how you feel comfortable. Make sure your weight is distributed outside here, okay, on the both sides. Okay. So if you look at recently there's some Wing Chun documentary research, scientific research thing. You see that the body weight distribution is on these two sides. Okay. So if you do that, naturally you put your body weight, you rest your body weight there. All your body will feel very lightweight. You don't load on other things. Now, if we don't load this body weight properly, then you end up has to tense up different joints to compensate that. And that creates a mess in the body because the body is stuck with a non-balanced, improper weight placement. Okay, so that's number one, the weight. Okay. The second thing is the body has to be in rest and relaxed. All joints, no loading, because if you load any joint, it is going to cause you tear and wear and heaviness in the area. Okay, so the joints has to be loose. Okay, and if you're really interested in this handling, watch my YKT Yikang Transform YouTube for the Yikang Transform drill 1, the standing, and the hand swing, the drill 2. That tool is very critical, okay, for this physical handling. Okay, and the reason I designed that two drills is because my concern, number one concern, is health. If we don't have health, we don't have anything. And health comes from proper training, proper practice. Health doesn't come automatic. In fact, if we screw it up, the head is going to get screwed up. Okay? So the rule of the basic, very simple rule of this physical is the body weight placement, and all joint has to be in loose. Okay. So usually people, if say for example for me, if I want to practice Shou Ling Tao, I will stand in a loose positions, okay, in a loose position like this before I start, for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Make sure that my body weight is properly settled on my feet, on my sole, and my joints in my body from the head down, all is loose. Stand there for a while before I start to do any motion, instead of just going in a hurry or something like that. Okay, so that is the physical, which we have to be really careful. Okay, that's the basic for that. Now, the second comes to the mind layer. So what are you going to do with the mind layer? Well, the mind layer, actually, usually we don't want to do too much about it. We rather don't do anything, don't think anything, just pay attention. And don't even force yourself to pay attention, because if you force yourself to pay attention, that means you are overdue. You just let it be. You just be aware. Okay. So if you put do a tan sao, you're aware that you do a tan sao. Don't force it. One key is don't use strength at all. Don't use strength to force focus on anything, because well, once you use strength, there is not nature, and there is not nature, you create problem. You create stress. Okay. and then you get a Dao or tunnel visions and so forth. Okay, so that is not the way. This is violating nature. One need to be really active and really sharp. Okay, and so the mind has to be sharp and really alive. It's not dull and say, I'm trying to push something or pressure something. No, that's not the way how to do it. That only generate pain and wear. Okay, so there's the mind. The third thing is breathing. If you really stand, relax, the breathing automatically comes down to the lower abs area. You don't even have to do anything with it. Okay. And again, if you're interested in this in details, go watch my video on the YKT drill 1 and drill 2. Okay. And breathing, how long it is, how short it is, you don't want to mess around with it. You just let it be. And if things settle down, it automatically be long. And don't force it here, force in the chest, thinking that you can force lower breathing and so forth. No, you don't want to do that. That only creates problem with you. Poor blood circulations, whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so that's breathing. So leave it alone. Now come to the chi layer. Okay. Now the chi layer, we don't want to go with it direct because most people don't have those trainings. So where do we want to go cultivate this chi layer stuff? If you are too tired, do not do your Siu Lim Tao. Okay. And again, you have to have in a good state of the body when you practice your Siu Lim Tao. Okay. And two things is very important. One is the diet. So one thing is that it is best to not drink cold water with your meal. Drink warm water with your meal, so that it doesn't create stagnations in your chi and so forth, or drain your chi because you need a lot of energy to dissolve issue due to the cold water and the oily thing mixed in your body. Okay. And another thing is sex. Yes, this is true. You need those reproductions energy to energize the body. So if this is 1850, when you practice Siu Lim Tao, people abstain from sex. They don't think, they don't look, they just use their reproduction energy to provide extra energy to their body. Okay? So this is real. Also, don't sleep late because that drains energy. Okay? And when that drains energy, you know your alertness, your sharpness of your mind is gone, your temper is up, and so forth. Okay? And that is not going to create good Siu Lim Tao practice. You cannot develop anything good. You might mimic something, okay? So how can I know about this? I just joking the other day in the Facebook group that it took me 30 years to do a 7-minute Siu Lim Tao. So that means I know all the ways how to screw up. Okay? So I probably know more screw up than anybody. Okay? So I know about the thing. And of course, you know, this is you can read this in the ancient classic. When you want to practice something, to develop something, you need to handle different stuff in your life because different aspects in your life actually is one. It's not multiple. It's just everything is one. It is sum up. Okay, so there's a chi layer. So just leave it alone, but take care of a good daily handling of your daily life. Okay, that is the chi layer. Okay. Now, the fifth is the Jing layer, or the forceful layer, and the what do you call it? The the strategy, fighting strategy, or the combat philosophy of the Wing Chun layer. Okay, this is the layer get interesting. Okay, this is a layer. It is like a music. Okay, it's like people play. Say the people play violin. It's not that you just go down there and play violin. You need to know what type of music you're playing. So it is here you learn the music of Wing Chun. And lately people keep asking me, a lot of people asking me, so Hendrik, how do I turn on the snake engine? Well, actually that's very simple. There's a detailed version with the force control and blah blah blah, but there's a simple version, okay? Because everybody cannot start with the details version. Everybody needs to start with the simple version. Now let me give you a picture. Picture, once you know this, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Why is Wing Chun not Tai Chi? Why is the snake engine not Tai Chi engine? Why is the Xiu Lin Tao cultivate the type of Jing which is accord to the Wing Chun center line principle? All this thing is here. Okay, let me tell you a story. I was born in Indonesia, so very close to my hometown there's a lake called Lake Toba. Okay, I love that place because I was young there, and that's where I learned how to row a boat. Okay, the sampan, the small boat there. Okay. Now, so this is the issue. Okay, if there's a boat come toward me, and I'm a rolling boat going toward him, and if the boat is going to crush, what I have to do? What I have to do is I have to put the roll stuff up front there, okay? And then, if I touch the other boat's the sideway, the boat goes sideways, okay? But I have an issue here. I need to have my body and boat, and this pole touching the other boat as one piece. Okay. If I don't have that one piece, I stand out. I don't have the one piece. It doesn't work. Okay. So what has that got to do with Wing Chun? Okay, first imagine that, okay, you say even you sit on the boat is fine, okay, you just push it and then you just settle down there and the boat goes sideways. Okay, the other boat goes sideways. So what has got to do with Wing Chun? Okay, now I want you to picture that thing first. You're in a boat, you put down there and then go. Okay? Okay, once you get the picture, let me tell you this. Wing Chun, the strongest power of the Wing Chun Jing created is within this triangle. It's in this center line. Okay? So, it's exactly like I push, okay, the other boat to let it go slide away. Meaning, my body has to link with the boat, and I'm standing with. Okay? So my pole, my hand, my body, the boat is one piece. Okay? Okay. So that is the type of Jing you practice in Xiu Lin Tao in a very general way. If you can picture that. Boat come, you just go. So sometimes this is called the forward intention. Okay? But we don't want to get into that. We just talk about Jing here, the force flow here. Okay? So in other words, that your body has to sustain, be able to handle, the body structure has to be able to handle that linking with your boat to the pole so that you put out there and the other boat will go sideways because of your force there. Or you can look at it as like a toothpick. You know the toothpick? It's a very weak toothpick if you break in the slide. But you try to poke it from the up front, the sharp edge direct, boy, it is really strong and it can really poke deep. Okay. So in Xiu Tao, you are training that kind of thing. So when you do, say, a Tansa, okay, it is not just your hand. It is the whole body to down to the ground as I stand on the boat using that pole to poke and push away, let the other boat slide away. Okay? You remember that in the mind when you do Xiu Tao. Okay? That's what it is. So we don't monkey around this way, or like playing the Gangnam style like this monkey. We don't do those kind of stuff. We go straight there. Okay? That is a Xiu Tao. Okay. So you know this. This is the structure. It's like a toothpick. It's like the boat, the pole on the boat to drive, to lead other boat away. Okay. So the whole body has to have that. If you have that, then you can sustain. You can do something. Okay. If you don't have that, then you're breaking apart. So say for example in the boat situations, if I try to push the boat with one side of my hand up down the water, okay, like a slide, my body disintegrate. Okay. So as a boat analogy, you don't need a lot of force. You just need that link. Okay. You don't have to be muscular or anything. You just put that link there. Okay. With ease. Okay. Now, so where is how is this fit into the Wing Chun philosophy? Yes, Wing Chun said that I'm going for center line. As soon as I go for center line, I have a forward intention and a forward force vector to drive them away. Okay. So again, it's also like a boat. It cut through all the water. It just cut through all the water. It just go directly, slide through. And like this small boat, right? You slide through this one. This is the water like that. You just slide through. When they roll it, you slide through. On the sideway, you can get flipped easy. But when it goes front like this, it's extremely strong. Okay. So think about that. Okay. Now, so next thing about the snake engine is this. Because our body is built by different joints, it's linked by different joints. So, even if I push the boat with a rod like that, I have all these joints I have to handle. Right? So, snake body is that joint handling. The proper fluent joint handling, experienced joint handling. So that is the snake body of Wing Chun in a very general way. Okay? So it is not like a water tower, bulk myself, fix myself to death, root myself to death, and then stand there. Is that? No, it is not. It is like I'm pushing that boat there, while my whole body is actually in an active dynamic state. Okay. So there's the snake body. So it's like the snake slide. You see that? So if you try to imagine this, imagine that if I push the other boat, it's like my force flowing through every joint of the body, joint by joint. Watch out for the sentence, joint by joint, going up or to go to that boat. So you can think about it's like the water pump up from my sole to go through my ankle, my knees, my hips, my shoulder blade, my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, my hand, and then palm into that boat. Okay, that is the snake. That is called 力从力起, force come up from ground. You have that shock. Okay, okay. Or same thing with the toothpick. Okay, but it's not going to sideways. So the whole Xiulin Tao is training this type of jing. It's not like the Chen Tai Ji, okay, the rotating the Dantian or the Yang Tai Ji, Hu Shen Tai. No, it's different. So in Wing Chun Jing, it goes straight to it. It doesn't run away, or it doesn't try to ward off or so forth. No, it just going direct, like the boat analogy that I told you. Okay. So okay. So you know that with this one, you want to develop that. That means your weight, your body weight has to be placed properly. Your joint has to be loose, all joints, and then you know that your body, the left and right, the up and down has to be one piece. It cannot be broken like just using this side, tense up this one, just poke with this one. Well, this is like this one and breaking down. There's no way you can do it. So you actually you have this thing. Okay, accelerating, showing that it's like the force coming up, going back, the force, the action reaction from the body. So that is how when we practice the Xiulin Tao, that is the snake engine which is embedded in everybody's Xiulin Tao. It's not only Yit Gum Xiulin Tao, but in all red boats lineage Xiulin Tao. For other, I don't know, because sometimes people practice Xiulin Tao, but they get their jing from Bagua, from Tai Chi, from different. Okay, so that's a different story. So what I'm talking about is this is the common denominator of the Wing Chun from the red boat lineages. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, it's not different stuff. People can evolve different ways. That's fine with me. Okay, however, I want to limit the talk here is to tell what it is, as it is. Okay, and so that we don't make a mistake of thinking, oh, this Tai Chi, this Jing is Tai Chi, this Jing is Wing Chun. But they have the same Jing because they're the same Jing. No, the body is different differently. You notice that when we do Xiulin Tao, we don't move our hip or the waist or rotating. No, we stand there. We don't do a thing at all. Okay? We just let it loose and let it in nature. We don't do those Tai Chi whole bunch of circular. No, we don't do those kind of stuff. Okay? So if you do the Xiulin Tao properly, you develop that. Okay? So that is how it is in the Xiulin Tao development. And of course, you know that in Qi Sao, this type what you develop in this Xiulin Tao, you're going to use it, apply it there. That's where you test it up and hope on this kind of stuff, right? Okay. So you have all these 5 layers, and now hopefully you know about the 5 common denominator: the snake, the crane, the crane wing and crane feet, and then the frontal, the side. Okay. Elements in the Xiulin Tao. You know about the Jing type. Okay, like the boat. Remember the boat? Okay, put the pole there and let the boat slide away. Okay, and it's very strong here, like a small boat, but it's not strong here, and we don't want to get into here. We just want to concentrate here. Okay, and you have to lose your body, and you have to handle your body weight, and be nature, and that's how the common denominator of a practice Xiulin Tao properly. And if you do that, for sure, even within a week or 2, you feel a difference. Now what if you are tense up and everything already have a bad habit? Just go do the YKT drill 1 or drill 2. You know, the standing and the swing. Let it transform you, let it change your body. Okay? And then you'll get there. That is real Siu Lian Tao. So the real Siu Lian Tao, the set is real because it's from the Red Book. All these lineages from Red Book, right? Have all the components needed. And the next real is we have to put an effort by ourselves. Okay? So hope that this answers your questions. Okay? Thanks.